What's up everybody, here we are with another Ranger Runners video. You know how it goes, you download a new game, you get totally hooked, maybe life gets in the way or that beginner high slowly fades, but if you've been following along, Ranger Runners BATTLEHEART I started 2 months ago. We're going to be deep diving into the game that's held my attention for the past 60 plus days up to this point and kept its spot in my daily game rotation. It's probably going to be a lengthy video, but like always I do have timestamps available if you want to jump around. And now it's time for my brutally honest review from a free-to-play perspective to see if it's worth your time and money. Let's get it. The main issue for me when it comes to these types of games is the player base drops significantly on the server after its first week or second week. They release new servers so frequently and don't allow cross-server guild recruiting. Heck, some don't even do server merges, or if they do, it's merging like 2 to 3 servers, which makes zero sense when you have, say, servers 1 to 50 basically empty. But yeah, when your server becomes low population, the server I'm on is considered early because I'm on server 26, you're left in a ghost town and you're not going to be able to get certain server milestones such as the Dragon Warrior game mode. What I mean by this, if you click on World and you go up here to the Dragon Warrior, when your server loses its powerful players, aka whales who get bored, you then lose the opportunity to get rewards, because if we click on this, you can see there's damage milestone. It goes all the way up to this one right here to get that final chest. But what happens is your server is not going to have enough players strong enough to do the damage to reach these, so these are going to be free rewards missed out on simply due to poor server optimization. Now, Ranger Runners BATTLEHEART at its core is a typical idle gacha RPG. You build a team and then you send them off into idle gameplay, but what keeps player retention, in my opinion, is quality of life updates, events, and game modes. I mean, when I say this back, it sounds pretty simple, right? But it isn't. Mobile games nowadays are so money driven, they are only looking at making quick money with a short-term plan rather than making money consistently over a long-term plan. As a free-to-play, I will say your diamond income is quite steady and consistent in this game. If it wasn't, I would have quit a long time ago based off how frequent the limited hero summon events happen, which I'm going to get into after, but you have multiple ways to earn weekly diamonds. One of the ways is if you go to your adventure and you click on your bounty orders. You're going to want to always refresh for purple ones or better, such as the orange/red. What I do is, if I'm having bad luck, I'm going to snatch up these blue quests, as you can see right here, junk food, that give you diamonds, so this is going to give me 60 diamonds. And what this helps with is after you use up your free chances, which I have right now, and you have no more, if we click up here, of these bounty refresh hourglasses. I have 2, so let me just do that right now. So you can see right there I got a red quest, so I'm obviously going to do that one. I got a purple, let's do this one as well, and then I'm going to click my last refresh. So now I have nothing more, and it's going to cost me 20 diamonds per refresh. So if I'm having bad luck, I'll click on this blue quest, so at least I know I get 60 diamonds back, and obviously at 20 diamonds a refresh, and that gives me 3 chances to get better quality quests. So let's just do this a few times. So I'm going to click on don't show this again during this login. I got a purple one, definitely want to get that. Then I click on refresh, got another one. So I know I have one more. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this blue diamond quest. So I know I can do this. I'll get at least 3 more chances out of this. I got another purple, and now I finally have no more of the bounty notes available. So if I scroll down, what you're going to want to focus is obviously any of the orange/red bounty quests, because they're really rare and they give you the highest amounts. But really I tend to focus is the diamonds, the faction summons, and then the gacha coins, which is this one right here. The next game mode that's going to help you with diamonds is going to be the goblin treasure. I believe I've mentioned this before, shown it in a video, but on average right now I'm looking at about 2,500 to 3,000 diamonds a clear, since there is RNG involved. And what I mean by that is, let me just quickly clear this first stage right here. Okay, so I cleared the first stage, and here's going to be your first introduction to the RNG factor. I'm going to click on this. It's the lucky star slots. We're going to see what happens right here. Obviously, it's going to depend on how much diamonds you get and then your multiplier. So right there, you see I was able to get a 5 times multiplier. So if we look at this, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 750 diamonds already got from this game mode. So if we back out of this and I continue on, now I'm going to move into the next part. Okay, so we just discovered the lucky wheel. We're gonna click on this, and now you can see right here, there's all sorts of different values of diamonds. I've never gotten the 18,888. Actually, I've never even gotten these two silver spins right here either, the almost 3,000 and 5,001. So we're gonna start the pull and see what we get. Most of the time, it's like low 200s. Maybe this changes here. So you can see I got 100, but then after this, then you get the final boss, which I'm gonna do and jump to just so you can see the amount of diamonds I got for this goblin challenge. But let's just click on the final goblin right here. So he's gonna be the leader boss, I guess you can call it. Let me skip the battle. And there we go, we get 375 plus 375, and that's gonna bring our total amount for this goblin challenge to 2630. It's around 2,500 to 3,000 on my average, depending on how well I do with the RNG. Also, just remember, if you click on the question mark, the goblin treasure, goblin challenge, as I called it earlier, which I made a mistake on, it's open every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So if I take my current averages, that nets me around 7,500 to 9,000 diamonds a week just from here. Then we have the Moonlit Realm, which is, I think, probably my favorite one. It's the game board. All you're doing is rolling dice and then just progressing throughout, getting different resources, landing on different shops, landing on portals where you can go raid another player in the game. I highly suggest if you click on this plus to max out your dice rolls every day with diamonds. It does increase as you level up your game board. For me, that's going to be 200 diamonds for 10 more. I'm going to do that, and the reason being is I'm more than likely sure you're going to make that investment back just by dice rolling and advancing throughout the board. And then what you're going to also want to do is click on your store, go to the pillar shop, and buy 5 dice every day as well. And the last one I wanted to mention was the dragon pillars. Now this one will eventually run out and your diamond game won't be what it was, but starting out there's so much potential by improving your ranking. Every time you improve a rank slot, you're going to gain diamonds. I don't know what the actual ratio is, but obviously the more rankings you gain, the more diamonds you get back. But yeah, there's definitely thousands of diamonds to be had from here. Now the reason I mention the ways I'm consistently making diamonds is because right now, and honestly probably to the game's eventual termination, it is basically a casino summoning machine. What I mean by this is there is legit zero content in this game right now. This game has been out since May 6th globally and first detected in the App Store March 26th, meaning it was probably early access. So even if we say from May, that's 3 months with zero content updates. If we start from March, that's nearly 5 months with zero content updates. That's the worst. And I say this having played games for so many years. This is by far the worst I've seen a company do. Like, there's literally zero effort given here. If you look at their announcements in Discord, I know I've mentioned this before, but it's worth quickly highlighting how frequently they release new heroes as limited, meaning exclusive to their summon event, not in the regular summon pool, and not in any exchange shops. Let me just breeze through this and keep in mind these are all god/demon faction heroes, meaning the rare faction. Harder to obtain and harder to upgrade. So May 19th, they released the new hero Hampa and Mappa twins. June 5th, they released the new hero Masked Apostle, Paimon. June 19th, they released the new hero Star Nucleus, Frieza, and June 26th they did their first rerun, which was of the twins. July 3rd released the new hero Cloud Rogue Wukong. July 10th they did the rerun of Paimon. They released the new hero Abyss of Sin, which is Shira. July 24th they released the new Rainbow Dragons Stellar and Kylin. July 24th they did the rerun of Frieza. July 31st they released the new hero Heart of Adam Nova. And finally, what we're in right now, August 7th, they did the rerun of Wukong. So that's basically almost every 2 weeks they've either had a new hero or a rerun of the limited hero. Yes, I can understand you can skip some of the events, but these heroes they're releasing are broken, some more than others, but they are still far better than any of the original heroes in the game, making all of them obsolete. And that brings me back to when I mentioned what helps player retention. Quality of life updates. From what I can remember, there's been zero since I've started playing. Events, which I'm going to get into, very little of these besides all of these summon events, and the game modes, which I've touched on a few, but I'll touch on the others later. But what they're doing is constantly spamming diamond heavy summon events that are limited, by the way. Like if I click on the current one right here to 20 summons a day by diamonds, you can see 2,700 for a 10 pull. You can do this twice, or else you need to spend money to do additional. This isn't helping at all. I understand gachas do this, but I mean, come on. I mean, at least do this once a month. Throughout the whole Greedy Summon Event Fest, there's only been a few actual events in between. As you can see, the first one I enjoyed that had solid rewards for free-to-play was the Masked Ball. Yes, of course, it had terrible RNG on what letters dropped for exchange rewards, but you still had other ways to get rewards. And then there was Stellar Beats, worse rewards than Masked Ball, but I mean, at least there is something different than doing your regular gameplay. I believe there was also a 1-month anniversary event, but still, when you compare these events that are supposed to help players specifically free-to-play gain a power bump, get upgrades, get resources, etc. Like 3 of these happened within 11 limited hero summon events. To me, I mean, that's just crazy. So where am I at with my free-to-play account after 2 months, and what is left to do? I can tell you right now, nothing. There's nothing left to do, and there's been nothing left to do since the first month I started playing. It really frustrates me because when I find a game I like, the devs just don't listen to the positive and helpful community feedback. Like in their Discord channel, they have a suggestions channel, which honestly shouldn't even be there because 99% of the stuff that's suggested is barely acknowledged. And then from the game staff, all you get is, hey, I'll pass this along. There's no dev feedback notes, there's nothing. For all we know, this is just a bogus channel used to keep our hopes high that something's gonna change and something's gonna happen. Currently, I'm sitting at 9.4 million combat power, which to me is quite good when I try to look at other free-to-plays in the power brackets. If I look into chat right now and I go into world, I believe one of the other free-to-plays I know for sure, if I can find one of the messages they sent, or maybe I'm not right here, one of the messages they sent, so that's going to be noob free to play. You can see this person is 9.9 million. Now I don't know if they're officially free to play. Some people do claim and they're not, but based off their roster, I believe they are free to play, so that's really good. Almost 10 million combat power, and they are server 27. I'm on 26. The majority of my power boost actually comes from dragons, so if you're on the main screen and you click on dragons, if this is something you're trying to go for, I suggest to focus this area right here. Not only leveling up your dragon island, but then gaining dragons and then working on their bonds, starring them up. Like, there is a lot of combat power to be had from here. To focus your dragon island, you're going to need these dragon essence, and there's many permanent rotating events that offer these from either the diamond shop or exchange shop, or another way is to get them from dismantling. So if we click over here, you can dismantle some of your dragons. I highly recommend just to dismantle all your purple dragons. You can see if I just dismantle one, I'm getting 2 essence right here. So if I hold this so I can get rid of them all, I'll just get a few more here. So let's dismantle. I get 30. You could do orange as well, but I personally don't, because if you go to bonds, you can see the purple dragons, you're only getting flat values as you star up each and improve their bond level. But if you go down here to orange, you can see it now has a percentage value. And obviously because it's a percentage value, you're going to gain more power out of it. It can either be HP or it can be attack. And then when you get into the red and rainbow dragons, they start to give 2 percentage stats. And then you go into the recently introduced rainbow dragons, 2 percentage stats as well. But yeah, just focus on getting dragons and leveling up the dragon island while keeping in mind the bonds that I mentioned for those boosted stats, as they don't need to be equipped to benefit from those permanent stat buffs. Now of course you're going to be gaining power from upgrading heroes, but if you're like everyone else and realize nothing else matters in this game other than those limited heroes I mentioned, you will have to wait for the rerun summon event to continue upgrading them, because obviously you need hero duplicates. So in the meantime, while you're waiting on those, an easy way to gain power is from the dragons that I mentioned. If we look at my roster, there's a lot of limited heroes here. I could make a full team if I wanted to, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I used to use Frieza, but I don't use anymore, so that would have been another one. I do have an 11-star Rhoda and 11-star Jester. The reason why I have Rhoda is because I actually really like this hero. Complements my Wukong, so I can do some nice boss damage numbers. But I do have Diane, Frieza, and Tingles at 10 stars. But if I did continue playing, I would eventually feed these heroes when I needed, because if you look at 11-star heroes to go up to 12, you do need a 10-star hero food. Now I actually chose, if we go to the main screen, to skip the new limited hero Nova, and basically it's because I knew I was already going to stop playing this game. I'm playing so many different games at once, and once I lose interest in one, like I have with this, I have plenty others to go with, so I just stop. It's one of the freedoms I have now since I stopped spending on mobile games. In the past, I would spend so much and feel obligated to continue playing. Let's just do 20 summons and see what happens. So let's click on the 10 here, and you can already know, I didn't get anything because there was no notification at the top. But let's try another one, and I didn't get anything again. But, you know, I got a few diamonds here. I got 100, 200, 400, 550, pretty darn good right there. But what I've been doing is focusing all my diamonds on the Wukong rerun banner. You can see I'm at 67 summons right now. I haven't got my copy yet. I need 53 for my guaranteed. Let's try to beat Pity right now. And it looks like once again it's not happening. Maybe I do. Nope, still not happening. So yeah, luck's not doing too well right now for Wukong, which is unfortunate because this is the hero that I wanted to focus on, and I need 3 copies in order to take him to 11 stars. So it's most likely not going to happen before this event runs out. Now I keep saying Wukong so strong, Wukong this, but let me just show you my current boss damage numbers so you can kind of, actually why did I back out of that? So you can kind of get an idea why. So right now, if I click on this is my setup right here. I'm going to click on battle. If I did want to continue playing, I would have went for Nova and used as my frontliner, as she is just a way better Diane. Then I would drop twins right up here and wait till I hit account level 120 to put them in the 7th assist slot. But yeah, what we're going to do is skip ahead here and show you the damage that I can do right now with my current lineup. All right, so we just finished the boss battle right now, and you can see that my new max damage that I was able to output is 357 million damage. If we look at the battle statistics, you can see Wukong alone is doing 126 million, but my Rhoda still putting out respectable damage at 52 million. Even my only 9-star Shira, 55 million. Paimon, 87 million. Paimon's boss damage isn't very good, but just amazing for PvP and other PvE content. But yeah, you can see right there, most of it's coming from Wukong. Keep in mind, if you go into that, you can see you get bonus in damage if you're using God/Demon faction heroes, which I did use quite a bit. But like the main problem, like I've said, is there's just zero content to do. I don't understand why the devs don't want to improve the game, which improving the game is just going to make more money, because if I'm a free-to-play player, I'm feeling more bored as I get stronger, which is a terrible feeling. I mean, like, when you invest time or money, you expect to get stronger to beat more of the game, but when there isn't more of the game to beat, there really is no end game goal at all. So I can just imagine how spenders feel who, depending on how much they actually spend, finish the game in, say, a week. What do they have left to do? Really nothing. If we go into the sealed books game mode, I finished all of them 100%. I did this within the first month, and there hasn't been any new ones introduced since then, which is really unfortunate. Should be a very easy fix, very easy implementation, but they just haven't done that. Then there's Soul Fairy, probably the only PvP oriented thing I feel spenders feel good about, since you can take other players' camps. Like if you go over here to the hard mode, because there's easy and then there's hard, you can do so by beating someone and taking the resources that they've accumulated. Honestly, it's really just a toxic environment. I don't care if someone steals from me, but I know you can definitely target a specific player and constantly make sure they get 0 resources, and I think that's really negative for the game. But backing out here, there's Tower of Dawn, which is your tower. I've pushed to floor 604, so that's over 600. I think that's really good as an accomplishment for a free-to-play. Like if you look at the leaderboards, obviously our top whale in the game, Marvin, who was at 26 million, he's quit the game now. I believe Bab right here quit, then came back, but still like only at 626. 1987, 697. I'm at 603, so I'm not really even that far off as a free-to-play. But if I just click on this once again, I'm pretty sure 95% of our server's leaderboard here has quit the game by now. I just wish they had like faction tower, not just main tower. If I click on confirm here, so it makes sense to build up other heroes other than your main 6, as it just gives you something else to do, some other way to get rewards. But they haven't, and that's it. Literally, that's all there is to do. Since I've mentioned the others, for different ways to gain diamonds in the game, I basically spend like 5 to 10 minutes a day on this game. I haven't even bothered with Ace Angler, this game mode, because it's horrendous. Focusing players to spend money by clicking on this auto right here, and you have to buy the fishing privilege pass in order to unlock auto fish. I think that's just predatory. There's no reason for that. I would expect at like VIP 5 you enable autoplay, because a free-to-play can get there, but not even allowing that, you just have to buy the pass. Nah, that doesn't do it for me. The power stats are minimal, so I don't even bother fishing. And honestly, even when I did go into this game mode, 99% of the time my fish would just escape. I hated it. It really was poorly thought out. Even though I might sound a bit negative here, I think as a new player, you still will have fun for at least a month-ish, maybe even more if your patience is better than mine. And you want a game that respects your time, because it really does take very little time out of your day to get everything done, waiting until this server daily reset. And for the most part, this is free to play friendly, as I can show you based off this account, because all you're really doing is saving diamonds and summoning unlimited heroes. But yeah, if you're still playing Ranger Runners, what are your thoughts on this game? Do you think you're going to find yourself quitting as well? Do you still have hope that the devs are going to listen? They're going to add some content updates? Leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and maybe you'll tune into another game I eventually try, cover on my YouTube, and stick with.